What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Turbo Mo back at you with a video for the first time in a really long time, man. I'm excited to give you a tour of my garage, man. If you saw the title of the video, you know what's about to go down. I'm about to give you a tour, give you a little bit of an explanation on how I turned my dad's garage into from a useless waste of space into a profitable business for myself. So, just give you a quick another 360 of the area. Behind, we got the crown jewel or the piece de resistance, right? I don't know what else you want to call it, but that's my toolbox. It's my baby. 84-inch Snap-on Epic Series, complete with a hutch. Of course, we got a Samsung curved monitor, as well as a $100 PC that I got from a friend. I had to rebuild it a little bit. It wasn't operating when I got it, but I had to rebuild it. But it's all functioning, man. It's all functioning. You can see that I got a live wallpaper in the background going. M4. It's pretty sick. Some ambient royalty-free music. Got to put that in there, be specific. Got the printer in the background, and then I got both of my scanners, ALLDATA and Snap-on. And then behind the camera, now behind me, I got my tool wall. Rubbermaid, fast track shit. You'll see the same theme all around. Single bay garage. It is tight in here though. So I'm gonna go through a little bit of the pros and cons, just free form, off the rip, off the top of my dome. Of course, this is a single bay garage. I don't know the dimensions, but it is connected to my father's house. Still live with my father, which is okay. Knowing the state of the economy, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna let anybody shame me. And I'm doing more than most people would with the space and the opportunity to stay rent-free with my parents. So I'm very blessed. This garage has been a work in progress for a little while, more specifically around 3 years. It has gone through many iterations. The fact that my professional toolbox is in the garage is an amazing thing for me. It's got all of my tools in it that I used to use at the dealership when I worked at the dealership. Some of which are now on the wall as well. I've got a bunch of tools on the wall. I have the ability to treat the entire garage like it is the toolbox is a beautiful thing to me. The toolbox is large, it does do its part. It's pretty full, it's organized the way I want it to be, you know, and I'm sure some people would say that I would be able to fill it up some more. Yeah, of course. You know, for the way that I like to lay things out, it's pretty full for all intents and purposes. I got the Milwaukee pack out shit sitting here, powertrain hoist or cherry picker if you want, and then behind right here, I've got a engine stand. Excuse me, Daytona engine stand. Both of those components are from Harbor Freight. I've got my torch in the corner over there. Behind that, a 21-gallon air compressor. I've got a Lincoln Electric welder that I've never used, right there. Lincoln Electric welder that I've never used. Roll cart. This one I take to the curb whenever I have a job to do out on the curb. And then I have right there underneath the grinder my jack. My jack sits right underneath the grinder over there. A bunch of tools right here in the corner. A bunch of other tools inside of this. Bench right here, another workbench in the center for the centerpiece. I really like this, just got this a couple of days ago from Harbor Freight. This holds some special tools that come in kits like this. These ones would go into the center workbench, but I can't fit them in there. That's the only downside. And then all the other tools on the wall are pretty self-explanatory. If you're familiar with what mechanics have to do, You know, I got my torque wrenches, I got my adjustable wrenches, rubber mallets, pry bars, underhood light, detailing things, detailing tools. I think this is a 5-inch buffer. This is supposed to be a 3-inch, but I got a 2.5 attachment on there. Let's see, pneumatic cutter, electric cutter, a couple of classic Craftsman wrenches. I don't really use those too often, but they're cool to see. And then power tools, Snap-on 3/8 impact, 1/4-inch ratchet, 1/4-inch electric ratchet. These two are like two of my favorite tools to use probably. Milwaukee Fuel M18. This is a 5-amp battery. I believe that's what that number stands for. Don't quote me. I think the 6-amp battery is the big boy, but that's the 5-amp battery. And then I got a Milwaukee Fuel drill as well. I love that drill. I love their drill bits. Some more pneumatic tools for body work. I haven't used that before. I'm really not a body guy. I'm a mechanic, but I'm trying to get better at body work as well. You know, that's a work in progress, like everything. So take you down the line here. So we go along the right side if you're facing the garage. Inside of these Husky cabinets. That's what that looks like. So I've got a bunch of charging ports here, Ryobi tools, Milwaukee tools. You see the theme. Then I've got a bunch of brake clean. I'm actually glad that I'm stocked up on brake clean, thank God. It's not always looking like that, of course, depending on the jobs that I have. Detailing shit, all mostly on the 3rd rack over here. 2nd rack, I got some detailing supplies, some pads in the back, which I don't really like sitting next to oily things, but I gotta, you know, get creative with the space, and that's kind of the theme inside of this garage, is I'm showing you how I've gotten creative with the space. On the bottom, I got a little more, you know, miscellaneous things. I got a wiring harness there in case I need extra wires for something, for a repair. Miscellaneous fluids, which I'm probably going to relocate those and sort through those. I think these are things like trans fluid and power steering fluid that I don't use too often, but they do come in handy every once in a while. Some brake fluid down there as well. That's where I store my trusty knee pad on the ground right there. And then got a vacuum cleaner for detailing, of course. Over here, this is a recent addition. This is a Crescent parts runner. You can get these at Home Depot, I think, for around $200. The benefit of these is that they're 3-tier. I believe I don't know what the weight capacity is. It's 100 pounds per shelf, which is a really good weight capacity. Very lightweight, very versatile. It's got casters on each leg at the bottom. One side is locking, one side is not. And when you don't have anything on any of the shelves, you can fold this and it pretty much stands like straight in a line, like paper thin, about this thick visually. Just to give you a visual representation, I can't do that right now, unfortunately, because I have a set of suspension parts on the bottom that I don't know what I'm doing with yet. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with those suspension parts, but ideally when this is not in use, and it won't be in use if I'm not at the curb working and have parts on it, if it's in the garage, ideally it's not in use and it's folded. Unfortunately, I can't do that right now. Behind that, I've got a gray Franklin parts runner. This is for service, supplies, and parts storage. So this is just a 2-tier. This is the bigger John that you could get at Home Depot. Excuse me, not Home Depot. This is the bigger John that you could get at Harbor Freight. Behind that, I've got a punch-in clock. You can see it's a little dirty on top. It's tough keeping things in a pristine condition in this garage. The issue is I'm a little bit at mercy of the elements. Bugs love to crawl in here and then die, and then it gets dirty and dusty all the time. If I was to keep things as clean as I wish they would be, I would spend more time cleaning than making money. And so it's just not realistic. But I tend to keep things as clean as you know, reasonably possible. All right, baby. So also have an auxiliary box over here. auxiliary toolbox, and another Husky cabinet. This also has supplies, almost like what's in there, just not quite. These are things that are a little more miscellaneous and that I don't use as often. There's some ratchet straps in there. It's pretty much the same deal. Nothing worth showing. But this is the crown jewel of the entire operation, of course, the 84-inch Epic Series. I love the green trim on this. This is like the box of my dreams. I'm very blessed to be able to have it home and use it to operate my business. And have it set up in such a fashion that it's like, damn, like I've got a surround sound system in the I've got a gaming computer in here, like full keyboard. I do all my invoicing on here, so I use ALLDATA. I do all my invoicing right here, sit down. I've got the printer right there. Whatever papers I need to print right there, have my customers sign, and then I file it away. This is like a dream come true to me. So like I'm totally blessed, and it's like awesome to be able to show people like this is what I've been doing, you know? Anyways, just gushing a little. All right. I'm not gonna take you on a full tour of the toolbox. That'll be for a different video. But yeah, there's just a closer look. I tried it again. Like I said, it gets dusty in here. The thing gets fingerprints all over it. It's a gloss black, so it's like fingerprint happy. And the only way to get the fingerprints out, like the smudges out, is to put wax on it and then wax it out gently, which is kind of funny. It's like a little bit of a characteristic of this thing. I spent about a month, every weekend for a month earlier this year, buffing this thing. It might have been last year, but that was quite an event. And then afterwards, I ended up getting the hutch put on. The trim did not come the same color as the bottom. This was like a chrome red for a little while. And then I ended up getting the trim in separately from Snap-on. And to get this here, I actually had to put this in the back of my 4Runner, drive it into the neighborhood, because the semi-truck that delivered it to me wasn't able to fit inside my neighborhood. So I had to put it in the back of my 21 4Runner. And this thing, it's 84 inches wide. It would not fit completely inside the back of the 4Runner. God bless the dude who was driving the semi and delivered it to me. He helped me out, helped me fit it in the back of the 4Runner. And then we like held onto it as I drove into my neighborhood, and you know, we got it out of there safe and sound, and you know, we didn't herniate any discs, and both of our, yeah, we didn't herniate any discs. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, yeah, man, like this is a dream come true. I got a creeper up there. So just to give you a perspective, this garage has gone through many stages, right? It is very tight. You can see that everything has a place, has its own place, and everything that has its place has a specific purpose. Like nothing can stay in this garage if it's not making me money if I don't use it. You understand? So this is like a really creative endeavor, and this took a really long time. This took years of like moving things, years of reorganization, years of cleaning everything out, sweeping, mopping. When we moved into this house and this garage like wasn't being used for any type of a purpose, it looked terrible. Like this wall just had like decrepit shelves with paint cans that who God knows what color code and how long they'd been there. I'm pretty sure when we removed, like when we cleaned this garage out initially, after like years of living here, the paint cans that were sitting on top of those like decrepit shelves that were not sturdy whatsoever, were like dried, of course, and just like that wasn't being used. It was like some green like tarp carpet on the floor, and if you can see, it's like right now it's concrete with a little bit of paint that's chipping away, of course, right? But I mean, it looks nice. But before it was like this grass, like faux grass tarp. It looked like something you would golf on, but you didn't want to golf on it. I don't know how to describe it, but it would just collect dirt, and it was sitting there, and this garage looked terrible. The only original things that remain from how it looked before is these cabinets here, which get used for cooking purposes, and these cabinets here that hold, you know, cooking things, Nothing mechanic related. Nothing related to the business, of course. But so yeah, those are the only two original pieces of furniture here. This garage has come a long way, and from beginning to end, it was my idea to, you know, have the garage be useful. And it's been a progress, man. It's been a work in progress for years. This is how I hope the garage will stay until I can, you know, get a place of my own and do this, you know, on a bigger scale, level up, you know. So I'm very happy and blessed to be able to come back and create a video, hopefully to inspire some people, entertain some people, and or do a mix of both, and, you know, reach out, tap into the community, tap into the automotive community again, man. Having done something like this with your own two hands is a beautiful thing, you know. Yukon. This thing's a Yukon. I wasn't sold. I was not sold on the wood top. I really wanted something like metal. Like, you know, I wanted like a metal top for this thing, but I mean, where are you gonna find that if you're not finding it from like Snap-on, you know? And it looks good. It actually really does look good. It reminds me of like an island centerpiece that you would have in a kitchen, except it's in the garage. So, but anyways, I'm gonna end the video there, man. I'm going on a rant. First video back, and we're gonna keep pumping them out, man. I got some content to make now that the garage is in a stasis, baby. That's royalty-free ambient music. I do want to monetize this channel, so YouTube, that's royalty-free, baby. I don't know. How you feeling about that, YouTube? I don't know, man. All right, I'm out.